So as you may know, Apple is one of the brands that is going a different way from other manufacturers of laptops, and that's because they're using their new M1 chips. For example, all the other companies are stuck with Intel and AMD, but Apple decided to take a different way to make their own silicon, which is used in the recent products. Today we are going to talk about one of the recent Apple products, the MacBook Pro 13. First of all, Apple products are very well known about their design. The whole body is aluminum and it feels very sturdy in the hand, and it feels really sturdy when you're using it, and I think that you don't have to worry when you're carrying it in your backpack. There are some changes in the MacBook Pro 13 with the M1 chip compared to the other Apple products, and we are going to start with the ports. This is maybe one of the things that is a very big controversy of Apple products, because many people are not happy with the fact that they have to buy separate dongles for a card reader, for a USB Type-A, for an HDMI or things like this. Here you have only two USB Type-C ports, which are Thunderbolt 3 on the left side, and one of them is used for charging. On the right side, the only thing that you have is a 3.5mm port. The pain for me is that the MacBook doesn't have a card reader slot, and as a content creator, as someone who is making videos and photos all the time, it is really painful for me, because all the time I have to have a dongle with me so I can connect my memory card to the computer and to actually transfer my files. The thing about devices in 2021 is that even some of the Windows laptops are actually going to be needing dongles, so you can use more ports, or you can use a wider variety of ports. And to be honest, I don't have such a problem with this thing. I have a dongle that I'm using because I need one USB Type-A port eventually if I'm going to connect a flash drive. Everything else can be done with a USB Type-C port. My only complaint is that I need a card reader, and this thing doesn't have. Another big difference from older MacBooks is that here you have a completely renewed keyboard, and gladly they have made a change to the keyboard, because to be honest, I didn't like this keyboard on the previous generations of MacBooks. The buttons had a really short travel distance, and this is one of the things that I'm not a fan of. Here you have a standard keyboard, which is very easy to type on, and it is actually very comfortable. One of the things that I like the most about the MacBook Pro 13 is its trackpad. It has a glass trackpad, which is pretty big, and if someone told me, Alex, man, you're going to edit a video with a MacBook with a trackpad only, I wouldn't have believed him, and now I actually did this whole thing. I have edited a video on the MacBook Pro 13 using it on battery and using only the trackpad. This is maybe the best trackpad that you can find on all 13-inch machines, and to be honest, I've been testing Windows laptops for years and years. I have to say that until now I haven't met a device with such a good trackpad. The MacBook Pro relies on a 13-inch Retina display with a resolution of 2560 by 1600. Here you have maximum of 500 nits, and I have to say that this screen is really good if you are going to edit photos, if you're going to make color grading to your videos, and if you're going to watch movies. So while we're talking about movies and videos, I have to say that one of the things that emphasizes this whole experience are the speakers. These are the best speakers in a 13-inch machine that I have been testing, and for a 15-inch machine I cannot actually say, because the MacBook Pro 15 has really nice speakers. For a 13-inch though, these are the best that I have tested. The sound is very rich, the sound is deep, you can feel a little bit of bass, the sound is very clear, and I have to say that I give not one but 2 thumbs up for the speakers of this laptop. The main change, the silicon. Here you have the M1 chip from Apple, and they were claiming a lot of things. They were claiming incredible compatibility, they were claiming that it won't be running hot, they were claiming also that it is very fast, and everything came up true. except of one thing, except of the compatibility. Because in the description I will leave you a link to a sheet that you can actually check the full compatibility of the MacBook and which applications actually will be using some kind of emulation like Rosetta and which applications are absolutely built up for the M1 chip. The situation with the temperatures was very interesting. I've been using the laptop mostly on battery and I have to say that I'm pretty happy with the performance that it has. Unlike the Windows machines where you plug out the power supply and you have immediate drop of 30-35%, here you don't have such drop. No matter if the MacBook is running on battery or it's running on the power supply, the temperatures were the same. You have 22 to 25 degrees idle, and the difference came when I started editing a video in DaVinci Resolve. I'm editing only 4K videos and I'm exporting also 4K videos, and the temperatures while editing were the incredible 42 degrees. 42 degrees while editing without any stutter, without any problems while scrubbing in the timeline, with all the footage color graded by hand, with some cam trackings on it, and actually I cannot be more happy than this, because this is a machine that does its job like it's supposed to. You open the lid, you sign in, and you start working. And it doesn't ask, and it doesn't make problems, it's just working. And just to say, this is the base model of MacBook Pro 13. This has 8 GB of RAM, which is a pretty fast RAM though, and you have 256 gigs of NVMe storage. All these things can be adjusted while purchasing the laptop, so you can go with 16 or 32, and you can go with up to 1 TB if I'm not wrong for the storage. And of course, that is my own opinion about the MacBook and about Apple's products with their silicon, and also we have another opinion in the video, and I'm very thankful to it that he agreed to participate in my video.
Thanks for having me, Alex. Now what can I say? All of the M1 machines are complete game changers for more than one reason. Now we all know that all of the latest M1 laptops come in the old shell of the previous generation Apple products, so nothing fancy right out of the box. But this is where all the ordinality ends. Just as with Alex, I started with the baseline M1 MacBook Pro with 8 GB of RAM, and as surprising as it was being able to tackle almost anything I throw at it, I did not expect what a difference an additional 8 GB of RAM, totaling 16, will make. So that's exactly what I did. After upgrading to the 16 GB model with 512 GB of storage, I have absolutely no shortage of power. And unlike the 8 GB model, this one can't bottleneck. Mind you that I tend to really run the machine through its paces. For the first time in my life, I don't have to wait for the machine to catch up to my workflow, whether that's complex video edits, heavy graphic design tasks, and occasional gaming. The battery life on those laptops, combined with this small form factor and the remarkable performance, is truly a one-off package. I no longer have to eyeball my battery percentage because I know that this little guy can last me for days. And by the way, I sold my maxed out 16-inch i9 MacBook Pro for this, the 13-inch M1. I can't wait to see what the next generation Pro machines will have to offer. With that being said, however, you don't have to wait if you require an upgrade. All of the M1s are stable and can pretty much cover any demands, so feel free to jump in. Just knowing your workflow and demands, think carefully about the RAM package because it does make a difference. Back to you, Alex.
Thanks a lot for being a part of my video, and guys, don't forget to check his channel down below in the description. 256 GB of storage is not enough for me and for my usage, but just to keep in mind, this is a review unit that is provided by colleagues of mine. This is not provided by Apple, this is not sponsored by Apple, I'm not MKBHD, so this won't be happening. This is my absolutely transparent and unbiased opinion about this thing. The MacBook Pro 13 is running on Big Sur, of course, and I have to say that for now I'm having a flawless experience with the software. I don't have any issues with it, I don't have any complaints, except of one thing. Just because I am a native Bulgarian and I'm using a Bulgarian keyboard, I need one of the keys to be remapped. And the thing here is that I cannot remap the key. I cannot go to the software and without any third-party app just to remap the key to be at a different position, which is very inconvenient for my usage. But maybe this is my only complaint about this machine and the software. If you're coming straight from Windows to a MacBook and you haven't been using MacBook, man, you're going to love it. You're going to love it, and I think that if you have a machine like this, you won't be looking for a Windows laptop unless you're a gamer. Because everything you're doing on a Windows laptop, you can actually do it here. You can do it better, you can do it faster, and you can do it in way less temperature. So my overall experience with the MacBook Pro 13 is absolutely great. There are a few things that I told you about that I don't like. First of all, I don't like the lack of ports and the lack of SD card reader. And the other thing is that I don't like the thing that I cannot easily remap the buttons. And another thing that I almost forgot is the touch bar. The touch bar is something very subjective because some of the people are going to use it frequently and some of the people are not going to take a look at it. And to be absolutely honest, I'm one of the people that is not using it frequently. And I'm using it only for two things: to control the screen brightness and to control the keyboard backlight. Everything else about this machine is absolutely flawless, keeping in mind that the battery is a total beast. With this thing here, while browsing, while doing some social media work, while doing some emails, I have to say that for my usage, I have to recharge it once every 2 and 2.5 days. This is very well optimized, and actually the power consumption of this thing is very well thought. And as I said, Apple did their homework very well here. I like it, and I have to say that maybe in the close future I'm going to buy a MacBook, just because I need a machine that is reliable, that I can work on it without questioning if it is going to overheat, without questioning if it is going to be powerful enough. You just open the lid and you start working. So thank you guys for watching my video. If you find it useful, if you find it helpful, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to check E's channel also. He's making very good videos about technology and Apple products, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.